All right, hello. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging and Friends. We are playing Deadlands tonight. We're continuing our Blood Drive campaign. Yeah, we'll see where we go from here. We got, I think we lost somebody in the last, not like a player, but we lost like a character that somebody created. I think it was one of our ranch hands, as we had a pretty long and intense combat with some Bayou Vermilion who have been chasing you all down for a bit now. But we'll get to that in a second. Let's just do some intros. See who's playing. Tell us, tell us who you are, etc., etc. And does anybody have any injuries that are lingering or anything like that? I'm just kind of curious. I know somebody does.
Was it my vigor is still down? I think.
Yeah. Don't you have like Tommyknocker teeth in your belly or something?
Yeah, I do. Oh, and I picked up a phobia last session too.
That's right.
I'm afraid of the dark now.
You're afraid of the dark. You have night terrors. Like, yeah, something like that. I think you have night terrors, right?
Yeah, night terrors.
Oh boy.
And I'm delusional.
And you're delusional. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But you do have like a really big fan in Little Timmy. So there's always that.
There's been a lot of conversation outside of the game about Timmy. And between Adam, Jeremy, and I think we have a plan.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You're just going to...
That was my plan. I was just going to have him look at the flowers and...
Pull an old Yeller or something on him?
Yeah. But I think we're just going to enlist him as Dr. Cuspid's apprentice.
Okay. Isn't he like your backup character now too, in case something happens to Ives? Yeah. Little Timmy's gonna come rolling out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Little Timmy. I think Little Timmy is a psychopath in the making. It's pretty fun. It's pretty great. Yeah. But you can't do anything because he's a kid. So haha. Anyway. Let's introduce characters. Let's start with Jeremy. Jeremy, tell us about Dr. Cuspid.
Well, I'm Dr. Byron Cuspid. I'm the residential dentist here, and I'm sad to say it's true. I did fail to help my friend Mr. Ives in the surgery for his ruptured guts, but I'll carry on. I'll try to prove my worth. Granted, I suppose at this point the cat's out of the bag. It's true. I do some experimental science, channeling energies through the resonance of teeth, and but it's all fine. It's just a one-time accident. Nothing bad can ever happen again. Surely.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait for it to happen. Like every time, like that's the only time you ever crit fail is when you're trying to do your magical healing. It's fantastic. There's going to be Tommyknocker teeth in everybody by the end of this. It's going to be great. Okay. And he didn't suffer. Like I guess my memory is that Dr. Cuspid buffed everybody so they had like 1,000 armor and toughness. Yeah. That's
-4 to attack them and +6 armor.
Right. So I think he's probably fine. You guys are going to live forever at this rate. I don't think anyone's ever going to die. Okay. Next up we got Jack Dawson. Matt, tell us about Jack.
Right. Good day. Jack Dawson, displaced mountie from the Great White North. I don't know how I found myself in this situation, but I've made some wonderful new friends.
It's just wonderfully positive. Look around. Ives is spilling his guts out. Little 12-year-old kid is stealing his belly meat and running off into the darkness. Cuspid's putting Tommyknocker teeth. Ellsworth is feeding rot gut to horses. And Jack's these are a bunch of nice friends. This is a bunch of nice friends. Love the positivity. Praise Jack. Okay. Next up, Eustace. Adam, tell us about Eustace.
Well, Eustace is just a kind-hearted soul that was put into the wrong place at the wrong time, and now he just lives his life one drink at a time, and so he can one day go to sleep and not wake back up. But in the meantime, he has chosen himself a vow of nonviolence, and I swore I'd never use a gun again. And no, I'm not suffering any injuries or inadequacies of the body from injury. Yeah, injury.
Okay.
It could be because Jeff just ignores me.
What? Do I? Well, I mean, one of the reasons, I'll be honest, is that your toughness is like, I think it's 20, maybe 30. I'm not really sure. And then you add Cuspid's buff on top of it.
It's only 40.
I don't think I'm ever going to hurt you. I'm going to wait till I get like a big boss guy out and then I'll attack you.
Yeah, and then
like,
kill me immediately.
these measly little like walking zombie guys, they're not going to hurt you. They're just going to, yeah, it'll be fine. But yeah. I think one person I almost killed, I think twice now, actually I have almost killed him, is Chuck. So Chuck tells about John Ives. No one tell him.
You're muted.
No one tell him.
No, I'm muted.
I was going to dub in. I was going to dub in whatever I wanted. And that was going to be great.
Here I was providing commentary for everything. Like, oh, my jokes all suck tonight. Okay, no, it's just muted. No, I'm playing John, perfectly regular, normal gunslinger who's taken on a, Timmy the orphan and is raising him to be a proper gentleman. Yeah, not eating any people. I don't care what they said. I have not eaten anyone
today.
Yes,
right. Today. Okay.
Today.
All right. Yeah, I believe you.
Okay.
I don't have enough. I don't have enough bennies. I should have more than I have. There we go. Okay, now I have them. I have all 5 of my bennies. Okay. Yeah, like the first time I almost killed you was I almost got the drop on you with the spider, and then the shootout in the Sutter's Flats. Both times. Both times could have gone bad. I don't know if the spider would have killed you. It could. It could have though. Like
that
the
poison was rough.
Yeah, like the right circumstance could have killed you.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I didn't really do a ton of damage. It was just that poison.
Yeah, that was scary.
And then finally, we've got Anna, who actually, at some point, I think you actually got Devil Eyes, right? Didn't you get Devil Eyes?
Yes, I did.
Notes. Yeah. So tell us about Anna.
So Anna is our Wrangler ranch hand. She might just convince Jack to leave everyone and go do our own drive because y'all are crazy people. And yeah, this seems a bit outside of her comfort zone. She plays a harmonica. She's crappy at singing. The harmonica helped in the wrangling of Devil Eyes. So she now has a kick-ass horse who literally can kick ass. Like has like fighting skills and whatnot. Fleet-footed, all those good things. And yeah, she is very unclear as to her. Like she and Eustace go back a little ways. But it's kind of like watching that friend of yours that was kind of on the edge and now they have like even worse friends and it's like, oh, I don't know what's happening to you now.
I feel like Eustace is the swing boat. I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago. Ives, Cuspid, they're nuts. Like they're way over there. Jack, Anna seem reasonable. And then it's like Eustace is no offense, Doctor. I mean, you're yeah. And then like Eustace is the one that's going to sort of swing it. Like, is this full crazy? Is this so? And so it's like at any given moment, Eustace has so much power. Like he can kind of change. He kind of change the direction just based on who he votes for. All right. Okay. So I think we're ready to go. Yeah. So let's hit the summary. So what was I going to say? All right. So basic summary. 5 drifters, you joined the Lazy S Cattle Drive. It's led by Bill Sutter, his niece Abigail, and his foreman and best friend Luke Canton, who regularly refers to Ellsworth at this point as a dog, on a leash or off a leash, depending on any sort of situations. While getting the drive ready back in Sutter's Flats, the Lazy S has made an enemy of the Bayou Vermilion, one of the more powerful railroad corporations in the country. Part of that was due to Sutter not wanting to sell his herd at terrible markdown to Bayou Vermilion, who were kind of deflating the price. But also part of that was due to you all having a couple run-ins with BV, with those Bayou Vermilion employees, killing several, including a somewhat distinguished member of management by the name of Bartholomew Phelps, whose I practiced that voice for a significant amount of time for how little screen time he ended up having. So I'm very upset at how quickly he was defeated. So at some point, we're going to have it like somebody else with that voice come out. Anyway, most recently, the Bayou Vermilion attacked the Lazy S. They ambushed you. Since like you basically had moved the herd now away from civilized towns, so that's when they sent out some of their special troops, the undead. And while you all ultimately did win out, you lost one of your ranch hands, Gertrude. Who came up with Gertrude? Does anyone remember?
Not mine.
I guess she wasn't that important after all. Veronique. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's right, Senator Graves. We were just talking about wrestling before we got on. Nice. Oh, it's good to see you. One of you did. I'm pretty sure one of you came up with her. Let's see. Little Timmy was Ives. Let's see. Cuspid did Grimy. I think Dawson did Wayland Fontaine. Anna, did you do Francesca?
I did.
Then that means Eustace did Gertrude by default.
I don't remember doing anyone.
He was too drunk.
He was too drunk. The rock gets gone to his head. Okay. Well, all of you did it at some point. Anyway, it doesn't matter. She did, so it doesn't really matter. And then, yeah, so that's it. The other thing is, like, some of the Bayou Vermilion got away. You all tried to chase them down. There's also some weird dude in the back kind of casting spells or something. But when we tried to track them down, I think it was Jack and Anna and one were trying to chase them down and out in the darkness. Could not actually find any trails after a certain point. So there's always the possibility they could come back at any point. So anyway, that's where we're at. I think that's what we're doing. And so let's move on to tonight. So we had our funeral for Gertrude. Bill Sutter, Luke Canton came back, kind of saw what happened. It happens, unfortunately. It's something that, it's going to happen more often. It's going to happen at other times. Like, people die on the trail, unfortunately. But you all did the right thing. And no one is going to let that, kind of get them down too much. But eventually you got to push forward, and that's what you all do. And so for the next several days, things kind of pass fairly peacefully. So if anybody has kind of any sort of lingering health or fatigue or anything, that kind of stuff, it'll go away because a couple days are going to pass at this point. So about 4 or 5 days pass without any real major issues at all. So you get your usual duties, like where you're kind of breaking up some drunken infighting between cowboys, or stray cattle are kind of wandering off. They got to go round them up, and all that kind of stuff happens. But nothing so dangerous as a sudden and nighttime ambush by the Bayou Vermilion. But after a couple days, and about a week after the incident with the Bayou Vermilion, a different issue kind of pops up, where you all hit a stretch of drought, of dryness, and Luke and Bill have to kind of head out to start scouting for water sources, looking for streams, wells, ponds, etc. One of the wells that they had marked on their path was dried out, and so you weren't able to kind of sort of resupply some of your sources and such. And there's only so much to kind of go around. And at a certain point, after a couple of days of running on low water, everyone starts to go on what are called reduced water rations. And it gets to the point where you wake up in the morning, you can barely have even a sip. So all of that begins to sort of bake down on you all a bit. The heat's kind of coming down. It's fairly dry, shrubbery all around. The whole area is just kind of swept with a level of dryness and dust. Everyone go ahead and make a vigor roll. This is too sad. I always forget that that's the sad one. Okay, and if you fail, let me know. If you pass, you're good. If you fail, something else is going to happen.
And just a reminder, we do still have 6 audience-sponsored bennies from last episode. In case anybody needs anything.
Spend a Benny, if that's all right, from that pile.
What if we super pass?
If you super pass,
I got 16.
Holy crap! You just have some strange natural weather. You're bloated. I think that's what it is. You're just severely bloated.
Yeah.
You're retaining water, but it's a positive in this case.
It's good in this case. My pants don't fit right, but I'm not thirsty.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is about how much water I drink anyway.
So did anyone fail? Anyone end up failing after Benny's were spent? Okay. So you all look around and you can see, and again, Luke and Bill aren't really here. They touch back every so often over the couple days, but they just still can't find anywhere. They can't find anything. No streams, no wells, no ponds, nothing. And it doesn't rain. There's no thunderstorms, nothing kind of coming through, nothing. And so people are really kind of getting tired. And the whole herd, you can see, even the cows, the cattle themselves are kind of sluggish here and there. The very people that you're working with, the various ranch hands. And to the point where like there's a lot of sort of fighting now at this point, where you're seeing people kind of argue over like who's taking the last of this. Is like the water barrels are drying up at this point, and like people are kind of having to keep track of how many rations they've had a day. Javier has become kind of like the de facto power in the whole caravan at this point, because he's kind of in control of that. As you're doing your journey throughout the day, and like the truck wagon's way out ahead, you don't really have anything. Your canteens are only half filled, so you really, really have to stretch. It gets to the point where people, you start seeing like people are starting to question like Luke and Bill and what are they doing if they find something, and everyone kind of starts scattering out. And so at night, people go off on these different searches for streams and such. They kind of point to different places where maybe Luke didn't see this, or maybe Bill didn't see that. And then one night, after again about 7 or 8 days, you all are around the kind of campfire. You're kind of hollowing out the last of the water barrels. You see a kind of a strange sight as a horse starts wandering up into the camp. No rider. It's all saddle, all set up here and there. And it's definitely one of yours. It's definitely one of the herds, one of the caravans. But it just kind of wanders up at some point, and we'll say you all are nearby as this does. Anybody wanna do anything?
I would want to go check out the horse.
Okay. Sure. So sun's setting kind of out to the west, but there's still a little bit of light left. No problem. You can see immediately, no check required, that the horse seems to be limping. Like you can see it's struggling to walk. Now everyone's kind of fatigued and such, so you can kind of tell people are moving a little bit more, slowly than normal, but this is more pronounced. It's not just sluggishness. It's like something's wrong with the horse.
All right. Can I do like a riding check to see what's wrong?
A notice check would probably be better. Okay. Or if you have like what's it called? Healing or whatever it is, you can roll that too, maybe.
It's going to be the same for me either way. So
12-day figure. Oh yeah, stay hydrated. Never has the stay hydrated channel thing, Veronique, ever been more appropriate.
For the horse. That's a 5.
Okay, so just basic pass. You notice that there's a bite wound. Like you can see there's a fairly big bite wound, a bunch of splashy blood. It all looks fresh. So it looks like this has happened recently. And again, saddlebags, etc. are all, affixed on top of the horse. Someone was riding it, but you don't see any signs of them.
So Anna will, whistle and get everyone's attention that we've got something out there. Took a bite out of this horse and not sure where the rider is.
A bite, you say? I would love to examine that.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Could I
you can.
Can I do a survival roll to maybe see what direction this horse came from?
Absolutely. So, survival from Jack. Cuspid, go ahead and give me that. Probably a healing test?
Nope.
You call yourself a doctor.
There will be. I'm really hoping to get to some interludes too. And I'm really hoping to get some interludes tonight, but it doesn't really make sense to do them when everyone's fully stocked on bennies, because like the whole point of doing them is getting to get bennies. So use them like crazy, I would say.
Okay, I'll use a benny. We've got several.
3 community.
should be good at this, in theory. Still didn't get the raise.
Okay, well, Cuspid, I mean, enough. I would say with Anna already kind of pointed it out, you kind of taken a look a little bit more closely. I would say it certainly looks like it's definitely a bite, and you would probably put it at maybe like something canine, coyote, wolf, wild dog, something like that. Like, hard to say without a raise to get it too more specific than that, but something like that, probably canine. And then what'd you roll there, Jack, on the survival?
5.
Okay, so yeah, easily enough you can tell that the horse kind of tracks some of its incoming steps. You kind of walk them back. You get probably to essentially to the far extent of where where the caravan's been set up, and you can see it's coming from the east. And you look off that way, and probably about a mile or two away, there is this sort of dried out kind of copse of trees, like mini forest wilderness area where most of where you're at is relatively flat with a couple chunks of rock here to break like a gusts of wind. But you can see that it's kind of coming off from that direction.
Okay. Point that out to the others. I go, oh, hey, over there. Let's go take a look. I think it came from that direction.
Saddle up, take a ride.
Absolutely, Jack. I'll follow you anywhere.
Something tells me this will be my last day.
I will sit high in the saddle and trot over in that direction.
Okay.
Before I hop on my horse and go that direction, I'm going to go and make like 5 torches and light one of them. I can have some light with me.
Okay. Sure.
And then I'll follow along.
Sure. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. There's a little bit of light left, but there's not a ton left. You can tell, it'll probably be dark within maybe 45 minutes or so.
It's going to be dark soon. That's when the real terrors come out.
Okay.
Lucky us.
So, yeah, the group of you kind of head out. Follow Jack. You've already rolled a survival. Like, you sort of follow the tracks for a bit. I'll say when you're probably about a quarter of a mile or so from where that kind of big old sort of forested wilderness area is, you do notice that the gait of the horse changes here and there, like at a certain point near the camp. Like, it was definitely like a very slow trot or just walking steps. Whereas at certain points you also look like it was more galloping, kind of torn up. You even see little, specks of blood on the ground. And then you also notice near getting much closer to this wilderness area, you do notice that there are other animal tracks in addition to the horse itself. Best as you can tell, looks like paw prints of some kind here and there, little flecks of dirt and blood, and like some fur or hair. But yeah, the brief look around, you don't see anything in particular. But yeah, you think it was probably attacked somewhere around here.
Should we fan out, cover some ground?
Yeah. How's I'm on a horse. How's it reacting? Is it kind of skittish as it gets closer to this?
That's actually a good question. Why don't we roll a test for all of your horses? I think you all have access to them in the horses and animals folder in the actors directory. Who's Aloysius?
Yeah.
Who's
mine's Aloysius.
Okay. And then there's Devil Eyes, Elmer, which is Ives, Jack's horse. You never named it. Then there's Lupe. Is Lupe yours, Cuspid?
Of course it is.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and just roll a spirit roll for them. Yeah, Arblin, how's it going? Oh, Strauss. Yeah, Xenomorphs. Yeah.
That's a 5.
Okay.
Everybody else only rolled 1 die, and I rolled 2.
Because because Devil Eyes is a wild card.
Because you're a cheater.
I feel like there's another explanation for this, but
Devil Eyes, that's one of the benefits. If you get Devil Eyes, he actually is a wild card, so he's a much sturdier horse than the rest of them, which are just extras and stuff.
Oh, I did bad.
Oh no!
Oh no!
It makes sense. It would be your horse.
It does. Yeah.
Okay. I need both Ellsworth and Ives. Go ahead and roll riding tests as your horses begin to freak out, not inconsiderably.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's way better. There you go. Okay.
Getting 11.
Oh my
You
gosh.
manage. You can tell that your horse nearly throws you at one point. And you can feel that it does not want to go any further. It's very nervous, like as if it's kind of senses something. But you're able to sort of. How does Ive settle down? Do you put it into a headlock, or do you do something else to settle it down? Okay.
I'm like, no, it is way too goddamn dark out here for you to be putting me on the ground.
Okay.
So I just reach down and just hold it tight until it stops bucking so much.
Okay. Ellsworth, how about you?
Mhm.
How'd you do?
Not so good.
Okay, Ellsworth, you get thrown from your horse, and you see your horse bolt away. Aloysius just makes a beeline fast as it can, running all the way back to whatever, what is it called, the camp, the caravan, etc. Yeah, go ahead and roll a vigor test to see if you take any bumps and bruises from this. Yeah, you're fine. You just get a little. It's embarrassing. Get a little dust up on you, but otherwise, you're nothing lingering.
Damn it, mud. Ugh. I'm gonna be calling it mud from now on. Ain't gonna be calling it Aloysius Abercrombie no more. That's long for mud, so I've been told.
What'd you go and do? And so Anna just kind of throws an arm down to kind of sling you up behind.
Okay.
It's almost as if he's too familiar. He kind of leans forward as if he's rode around on her horse before snoozing
Yeah.
on her back.
I would imagine so, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Ronique, thank you for the prime sub. Appreciate that. Okay, what do you guys want to do? So one horse gone. One of you running double. All you can sense all of your horses feel a little bit nervous, but the only one that really kind of seems to be given any fits anymore is Ives. Ives, your horse is still not liking being here, and you can sense that any little thing might kind of set your poor horse off into a spook. But Jack, Cuspid, Anna, everything seems fine. What do you want to do?
Would it be wise to go on foot from here?
Not sure if it's wise to continue on at sunset.
I'm sure Anna would be kind of partial as if we was going on foot.
Well, I say if we're on a horse, that's a faster retreat if we need to retreat.
Down woods there. I'm in agreement with Miss Anna.
Anna.
All right, I'll draw my shotgun, and I'll move forward.
Okay, staying on
leading
the
the
horse.
path. I'll stay on the horse. Gretzky is my horse now.
Gretzky. A great one.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Oh,
So you've got the
man.
musket for a shotgun and Gretzky for a horse.
Oh goodness.
Wonderful.
That's fantastic. Okay. All right. So you move into the wilderness kind of the area here where it's getting a little thick, a little dark. There's still space for the horses to move around, but you can tell that the horses are kind of rubbing up against these kind of dried branches. You're making a lot of noise as you stumble through here and there. As you start moving into like the brush, go ahead and you can roll you can roll survival again. Notice is also a reasonable thing to roll too. So I'll ask for another. Yeah, either or is fine.
5 on survival.
Okay, so as you're kind of shifting through, you notice that like there's sort of blood. There's definitely blood, pretty much all over the place. You can see that and it's relatively fresh, like within the past couple of hours. Like nothing seems particularly dry. You do notice that it's on like the sides of this dry brush. You can see it on some trunks. You can see it on the ground here and there, and you do notice that there are a couple boot prints. Like it's like somebody was on foot at some point, kind of struggling around here and there. Possibly more than one person. It's hard to really tell. You also notice what looks like some drag marks, and like it looks fairly bloody at a certain point. like a lot of blood.
Definite signs of a struggle.
Yeah, you can, for sure. You can definitely tell that there have been signs of what you would probably conclude is like either like coyotes or wolf pack or something like that. It definitely has that feel to it. Did Chuck just leave?
Not that wolf pack.
Chuck quit.
Can I tell with that success what direction they came from or went to, or?
Yeah, you're getting the sense it's like deeper into this kind of brush area, and obviously, you know, tracking this like this streak of blood is really fairly easy. At a certain point, you do start to hear some like ruffling, you know, like rustling a bit in some of the brush, and like at another point, you hear what kind of sounds like some barks and some howls kind of starting to echo around here. It's hard to kind of pinpoint exactly where it's coming from, how many there are. Everyone go ahead and roll a notice test. Everyone do this.
Oh no, critical
Oh,
fail
no.
for Anna.
Oh no, that's not good, huh?
Oh no.
All right. Let's see. Cuspid, what'd you roll?
4.
Okay. Jack, what'd you roll?
7.
All right. Anna got the crit fail, so she's going to be the one who dies. Ives?
6.
All right. And Eustace?
5.
All right. Okay. So all of you, as you're starting to move further into the trees, I'll go ahead and bring you a little map.
Uh-oh. Matt needs death.
What? You notice... You notice, like, as you're... I imagine you guys are all on horses and stuff, and so Anna and Ellsworth will probably be on the same horse, we'll say. You notice coming kind of up from sort of just to the south, you see starting to move about like one of these little bushes here. You can see this figure emerge, and it's a fairly large-looking wolf that's got this strange, like the face though looks kind of really strange about it. Like its eyes seem very, very red, like overly bloodshot to the point where like it almost seems like there's something wrong with them. And then the face is just covered completely in like saliva, and more so than you would expect. Just like any, you know, it looks more than normal. Like you're not sure if it's rabid or there's something particularly wrong with it, but it certainly has like this steady state of drool, and it's just kind of spilling down to the ground. And you can see the coat of the creature. You don't even really see fur anymore. It's just kind of just coated and matted down with blood and gore. You see bits of flesh here and there, as if you're not sure if it was rolling around in something or if it's wounded onto itself. And as this thing steps like kind of out from behind that little bush there, you also notice a second one begin, and this one's a little bit bigger, begin right in front of you, kind of start to move out from the southeast. And I think at this point I'm gonna go ahead and put us into a combat, or put us into initiative, I should say.
Those wolves have the mange.
Not gonna make friends with them. Okay.
No, under
Or
normal
pat.
under normal circumstances, I wouldn't be worried because there hasn't been one case of a wolf killing a person recorded. But that ain't a normal wolf.
All right.
I learned about that from a ranger once.
All right, let's take a look at what happened. Okay, let's deal out some cards. Okay. So, as is always the case, the first to go will be... So as they start to kind of slowly move up towards you, like these two of them are kind of creeping out, you notice like blood spatter kind of continues off to the east, and you actually hear the sounds of like kind of moaning and like someone out there, help us. And I would say Ellsworth, probably you. Anna, you're a little kind of lost at this point as you're maybe kind of looking at one of these horses and staring at it a little bit too long. Ellsworth, you notice there's two guys. One of them you recognize as Wayland Fontaine, like laying on the ground. They're kind of covered in blood, and like you can see that there's like a horse that's a little bit off screen that's just been eviscerated and by these wolves themselves as they're kind of coated in gore. So first up will be this this horse here, or horse, what am I talking about? This wolf here, who's actually going to charge up onto Anna. And because Anna, you did crit fail, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you don't actually even notice as your head's turned, and this thing actually gets the drop on you. And this is the
on
alpha
me or
too.
Devil Eyes? Just I'm checking height of like how big these things are.
This one's big enough to get up to you. The other ones are, or the other one that you see is like is probably maybe 3 feet off the ground. This one's much bigger though. You can see it's got these big old shoulders and stuff as it kind of charges in.
Right.
Is there any way to like throw myself in the way of that since I noticed it?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, you didn't get the... If there was an initiative, if you had gotten the initiative, that's fine. But, like,
no, that's fine. I was just seeing if it was a thing.
+4 to a character's attack and damage rolls against the target for 1 action. So, I'm going to get a +4 as it comes up, charges up on Anna.
Yikes.
To both attacks and damage. So, it's going to bite with a +4. Let's see how it does. That hits with a raise, and so that it's going to with a +4 to this, I think. So
Good.
14.
Right.
Yeah, there's another 4. There's another 4 on top of that from the drop. So this thing bursts out of the brush up ahead, and before the rest of you can react, like it just leaps up onto Anna, nearly ripping her out of the saddle at this point. Anna, how would 14 points of damage do for you?
I don't even remember the math on that.
What's your toughness?
Toughness is 7.
All right, so it would be so that's it would have been a wound. So you're shaken with a wound.
Okay.
You can, if you want, you could do the whole burn a Benny and roll a vigor to soak the wound if you want.
Oh yes, I would like to do that. Let's see. So I'm gonna burn community vigor.
You hear Wayland from in there.
No,
Okay.
there you go.
So that's the
That's a
wound.
Wound's gone, but you still
And
shaking.
also, and actually,
Oh.
I think when you remove all wounds, you also remove the
Oh,
shaking
that's right,
condition.
she just had the one.
She just had the one, so you're good. You're actually okay, even though this thing charges in at you. And that's pretty good because,
That was gonna hurt.
yeah, because it could have been if a character takes enough damage to be shaken or worse from an attacker with the drop, you got to make a vigor roll and you possibly get knocked unconscious. So because you soaked that, you're not unconscious. So, but you all see is this very large wolf covered in gore, blood, and viscera. Eyes just like this beaming bright red, nearly rips Anna out of her saddle. Cuspid, you are up next.
Oh, I don't completely understand the affliction that these things are under, but it would seem very important that none of us get bit. I think I would like to assist with that. Reach over, press the button behind the tire. That strange overlarge tooth on its tire will begin to hum. The resonance will then begin to, reach out to the other blue teeth I've given to all of you. As the field begins to grow, the strange teeth circulate around you to give you some protection. So how many people do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to do 4 extra power points to do that. All right, so deflection +4. I will. Do we have any bennies left?
Yes, we do. There's 2.
I'm gonna re-roll that. How about this? Although I guess I have to do it in a different way to make it use the community one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so no raise, but everybody will. Anybody attacking any of us will take a -2 to their attacks.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Anything else in your turn?
I believe I'll start moving. I'll use it as my initial action, and I'll begin moving towards the people who I know are wounded.
Okay, so
Hey.
you want to head over towards
Hey.
the blood off to the east?
It's Waylon. That's
Yeah.
perfectly
Is that you?
prescribed.
Eustace, is that you?
Yep. Your name is perfectly prescribed for this situation, this predicament.
Your nickname's perfect too. You're a wild dog, and there's some wild dogs attacking us. Oh. All right, Jack, you're up next.
All right. Oh, hey, that's not nice. I'm gonna ride over and help my friend Anna. Hey, don't do
That's
that.
not nice.
That's not nice. And I'm gonna shotgun this thing.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey, don't do that to my friend.
Bunch of hosers. These
Take
these
off.
dogs, just a bunch of hosers.
Take off, eh? Buckshot short.
Okay. Oh gosh, yeah.
Oh, that's damaged. Ignore that. I gotta
Oh,
roll
okay,
the right
yeah.
one to hit. Where is it? There we go. Shooting.
Oh god.
Ooh.
Sure. Yeah, that's so roll damage with raise. Oh dear.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Do you want to
Terrible.
Benny? You want to Benny and reroll
Yeah,
that damage? Do it.
I'll spend my own because
Okay.
I start with 4. Don't take
We
from
will,
the
and I
pot.
really do want to do some interludes. It'd be fun. Oh boy. Okay. That is going to be enough to clear its toughness and an extra step. So I will, because this is a wild card, I'm going to spend one of its bennies to try to soak that. Try to roll soak. Otherwise, it'd be taking a wound. And I am able to do it. So the same thing that happened to Anna. So you get it, and you hear, "Wah!" But it doesn't seem like the shot. Like you only kind of get the tail end of it as it manages to sort of skirt around and use almost Devil Eyes itself as kind of like a block for your shot. And instead of making sure you're going to hit it, maybe just a couple of the pellets from the buckshot hit it. Anna, it is your turn. This huge thing is now on top of you. It's trying to rip you out of the saddle. Anna, what do you want to do?
So, first question before I go: can Devil Eyes go after me if Devil Eyes is a wild card? Like, does Devil Eyes get a place in initiative?
Yeah, I probably should have looked that up. I didn't. I thought you guys would get off your horses. I probably should have looked that up. But I didn't. So shut up.
Okay.
Why don't you do your action first, and I will look
Okay.
up mounted stuff.
So I am also going to be like, ow. And I'm going to Winchester that in its face. 4?
It's a shot, so all you have to do is hit a 4 with a gunshot.
Okay.
Um,
And why is it not giving me an option for damage?
depends on where you rolled it from.
I rolled
you-
it from the shooting option.
Would you target? Roll it from your quick
Oh.
access next time.
Probably because I didn't have it.
yeah.
I did.
You could. You
roll
should
it
be able
from
to.
quick access.
You didn't have it targeted either. Yeah,
That's why.
it's all good.
6 damage.
Yeah, 1 second. All right, so mounted combat. Let's see. Characters who wish to fight from horseback must use the lowest of their fighting or riding skills. If a character is shaken, stunned, or wounded while mounted, or his mount is incapacitated, he's got to make a riding roll, and if he fails, he falls. Let's see. Range attacks. Mountain riders are affected by the innocent bystander rules. If a shot intended at a rider rolls a 1, it hits the horse instead. So yeah, I'll share this with you all if you want to take a look at it.
Mm-mm.
And if anything applies to you. And if you want to use it, use it. If not, that's fine. I'm not too concerned.
Okay. So this doesn't address if horses can be.
It doesn't look like it has its second.
Mounts aren't dealt action cards. They act with
Yeah.
their riders. Animals may attack any threat to their front during their rider's action.
Yeah, and so in this case, I think it would certainly apply, as Devil Eyes is probably right in front.
Okay. So Devil Eyes. So I don't know what it means, but Devil Eyes has a special ability of kick.
Mm-hmm. It should tell you if you click on it.
Yeah, it's not doing anything. Can I roll strength and see what happens with that kick?
So basically, the kick can be, it can attack it either to the front or to the rear. Normally it's just the front, but in this case you can attack the rear, and it's strength plus D4, which is kick ability. So yeah, just roll. It's got a fighting of D8, so just roll its fighting die, and then the damage is going to be strength plus D4.
Okay, so
Not
that's a
yet,
5
not
on the
yet,
fighting.
Bert. I almost got Melissa right off the bat, but she cheated. Let's see, a fighting. Let's see.
See if that rolled properly.
You rolled 6 points of damage on your shot against it, right?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, that didn't break its toughness, but 9 does. So it will be shaken.
So because I did strength plus a D4.
So you take a shot. It doesn't actually. You can see that it doesn't actually break. Through. It doesn't seem to harm this giant wolf. But then Devil Eyes rears back and just kicks out in the front, whacks this wolf right in the face, and you can see that it seems a little bit kind of shaken from it as it's kind of as it steps back ever so slightly from that hit.
Anna kind of grabs Eustace as Devil Eyes is kind of like rearing up to make sure we both stay on.
Okay. Next up is this wolf to the southwest, who is just going to, I think, charge up and... Actually, no. I think the wolf is going to... It's going to target Ives with something.
That's fair.
It's gonna look at Ives. It smells the fear in the air as it's getting dark. It looks at you. You look. Your horse is afraid. You're afraid. Yeah. So it's got an ability called Howl, which I will try to use. All right. So you're gonna. So I'm gonna roll. It's this Howl ability, and then you're gonna oppose it with Spirit.
Okay.
And I do a horrible job of it, which you don't have to worry about it. As it like kind of stares at you and like howls a bit, and you can see that it's trying to intimidate you, but it doesn't seem to. Like you kind of shake it off a little bit. You've seen worse than this. It's just a dog, and then it'll move up towards you after kind of howling. But here's the thing, Ives. Another one of them.
Oh no!
Charges up.
Rude.
I apologize. This thing rolled a 13 on its stealth. I had multiple raises and no one saw it. And so while you're staring down the eyes at this other wolf and it's kind of coming at you, maybe you turn the horse, getting ready to block. You don't notice as the one behind charges up and will get the drop. So +4 again on old Ives here. This is not a wild card, at least. This is just a regular. Will get a raise. I will roll that. +4 on this roll. 15 points because it's got the what's it called? The drop plus.
Does that 9 have to break my toughness?
No, the 9 is your parry. So the attack is your parry. Yeah, and so then the toughness is for damage. And so I rolled 15 points of damage, is 11 plus 4 for the drop bonus that didn't get calculated. I don't think it got calculated.
So I got a toughness of 11.
Okay, so right now it's doing. You would be shaken and wounded, but you can spend a Benny and roll Vigor if you want to try to soak.
Yeah. Oh, that was the wrong direction. Throwing 2 out. There we go. Spend my Benny. Throw out a Vigor.
There's Bennies everywhere.
Bennies everywhere. Nope. So I
that
am
is
shaken, and I have 1 wound.
Okay, and something else happens to you. If a character takes enough damage to be shaken or worse from an attacker with a drop, you got to make a Vigor roll. So go ahead and make a Vigor roll or be knocked unconscious. All right.
6.
You nearly get knocked off, but you manage to barely stay in the saddle. But everyone at this point is now aware that a third wolf has kind of come out of the brush and has Ives flanked in the back. Okay, and it will be Ives' turn next.
Okay. Yes.
Should automatically roll your spirit.
Oh, do that? Yeah.
It did. You did fail though because you had the 1 wound.
Yeah.
So you can
But
remove
you can
it with a
automatically do it with a Benny.
and take your turn.
Oh, okay. If I can remove it automatically with the Benny, I'll do that.
Yep.
Cool. And then so I still get a turn like regular?
Yes.
Okay. So what I want to do, and you can tell me because I'm not sure how much I can. I want to hop off my horse, come in this direction.
Okay, to the west there. All right.
I want to, and this is a lot. I'm sure this is too much. I want to hop off my horse, drop my torch, and then pull my second pistol.
Okay. You want to do? That's all you want to do on this turn? You want to hop down, drop it?
Hoping to shoot, but I would understand if that's too much.
Let's see. Hopping down, dropping the torch, pulling the gun. Do you have anything for like quick draw or anything?
I don't. No.
Okay. I don't know. Is there anything for multiple actions, or am I thinking of a different game? Is that Traveler?
You can.
There
shoot.
is.
You can take a -2 to everything. So like,
there you go.
You could.
So you can do that. So like,
Okay.
So you can hop off, no problem. Like, I don't think it. Actually, why don't you roll a riding test to hop off? Since you are being attacked by 2 wolves, roll a riding test to try to dismount.
Okay. Surprisingly, I didn't fail.
Okay. Does he take the -2 to that, or does he take them only to the shot?
If I can, how about this? I'll just, with that, use all my actions just to hop off, drop the torch, and pull the guns.
I'm fine with that.
I'm ready to go next round.
I would say, yeah, if you're going to take a shot, you have to take the penalty. If you're not going to take the shot, then you can just hop off. No problem.
I'll just wait for next round.
Yeah. You have to declare multi-action ahead of time and then apply the negative to everything.
So they would apply to the writing thing. Okay, that's fine.
Cool.
So you hop off. You've got your gun out. No problem. You didn't fall or anything. No issues.
Cool.
All right, finally we come to
Couldn't
Eustace.
Getting off the horse, though, be a movement, which is separate from...
Yeah, but then
combat
switching, like I think switching the torches out and everything was probably like another
It's a
action
lot.
on top of it.
Yeah, I'm cool with this.
So, Eustace is gonna say to Anna, "Hang on, Anna, gotta save lives," and he'll get up on top of Devil Eyes' rump, and he'll jump off of it, and he'll like try and like tackle one of the wolves and start rolling.
Oh, good gracious!
I love
rolling on the ground and just headbutting the wolves.
Oh God. Let's see. Why don't we do? Let's do an athletics test to see if you can leap on top of it, and then once you do that, we'll do like a normal grapple thing or something. As long as you pass your athletics. And then we could do like traditional grapple, or you could just punch it, whatever you prefer.
Oh, I'm just using my head as my fist. So yeah, I'll punch it.
Right. 5, yeah. You hop off, no problem. You kind of bring the people's elbow down, or no, you headbutt it, you said. Roll your attack.
Yeah, I'm rolling on the ground with it, and I will headbutt it.
Oh, yeah.
While I'm holding on the ground, like right in the mouth.
Okay. You're gonna headbutt it right in the mouth. You're gonna put your head in its mouth.
My armored head.
I love it.
It's got armor plates under those bandages. It's all for show, you know.
I believe you.
Everything is gonna be fine.
All right. Oh no.
Or not.
Yeah, we're gonna Betty that.
Yeah. That sounds good. There you go. That's better. Let's see. Let me double check. Unfortunately,
targeted. I'm sorry.
Fortunately, these have a parry of 6. So while you jump down and kind of tackle it from behind, as you go to headbutt it, it turns its body in such a way that your headbutt kind of lands at a meaty part of the body, and it doesn't seem to really hurt it too much, as they do have a parry of 6. But you are right next to it. Yeah, you're right next to it, and Ives is not alone. And we are to a new round of combat. And it is your turn again.
All right, so I'm gonna.
They all go at the end. That sucks.
I'm gonna grab it by the front legs and lift it up, and then I'll continue to just start trying to headbutt it more and more.
Yes, absolutely. Please do.
To get it, throw it off of balance.
Yep. Go ahead and roll it. Need a 6. Benny again, or?
Yep, we're gonna.
Okay.
And
oh my God, you just can't get over that 5. Oh, it's rough. Oof. It's one of those nights. Okay.
Yep.
This thing just is darting around, and it, despite its like appearance of kind of being like gross and sloppy and beaten up, it is actually quite spry, and maybe even the blood is a little slippery. So as you go to grab, like your hands just slip, and you don't quite land, good purchase on it.
Mhm.
All right. Next up, Anna.
Yep. So, rule of clarification. Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, I just
will
noticed that
not
too,
be
yeah.
Shooting with the long gun. I'll be shooting with the Colt Army.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna try that again.
Okay, the TN is the target's parry, so you're attacking the big one, right? So parry is
Yep.
6, so you need a 6 on this shot.
Yeah.
to hit.
I will Benny that.
You can do it.
No, I can't.
Wow. As this thing is just too close to you at this point. Like, Devil Eyes is there, shifting around, but it's still very difficult.
Devil Eyes is gonna try to kick though.
Oh, yeah. That
So,
worked the best before, actually.
Fighting 4.
That is not good enough. Parry is 6. As this,
I can spend my bennies for Devil
for him,
Eyes.
yeah. I'm fine with that, yeah. Or
So I will
audience
do
stuff.
that. You-
Chuck, did you put the horse down there? Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
oh no,
my
that
God.
was worse. That was a waste of a Benny.
It is just one of those nights. Come on, Jack, save us.
All right. What can we do here?
Praise Jack.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna do.
Wow.
That plays. That's a damage with raise.
Go.
Now
Oh,
is that
boy.
melee where we can't use Winchester because it's a long gun and melee?
This is a Winchester level action shotgun.
So I think the buckshot is the
It's buckshot. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a buckshot shotgun.
So it's cool to use in melee. Is that right? Is that what we're
Yes.
saying?
Yeah, because it's a shotgun rules where it's like less damage the further away, so it's built for up close combat. That's why I'm
Yeah.
getting so many dice on these rolls.
That makes sense. That's gonna be a lot. So I'm gonna try to roll vigor again. It's got one more Benny left. Let's see if I can soak anything. There we go. That's an exploder. That,
Oh my.
yeah.
Okay.
It's that kind of night, Jeremy. I mean, Jack, you unload a shot like right into its flank, and you see a spurt of blood, but it just seems to not even phase this creature, even remotely, as it actually is just fine. Okay, Cuspid, it is your turn.
Well, this is very concerning. Debating what is best for me to use.
Ives, you're up next. After Cuspid, I should say.
You know what? I haven't used my knife in a while. That feels like a good thing to do here in melee.
It does.
So I'll swing around and do my best to bring the blade down into its shoulders.
Hey, Party Wipe, how's it going? Oh dear.
I'm gonna Benny that.
Okay.
Come on.
Are you guys taking
Yes.
the? Are you guys taking gang up bonus? By the way, if there's 3 of you around it, like, you should be getting the gang up bonus.
No.
Oh, so yeah, it
No.
would have been the first one would have been a 6.
Yeah.
think.
So which would have been? Let me double check. So gang up should be +2. That's +1 to all attackers fighting rolls up to a maximum of 4. Okay, so there's 3 of you. I don't think we should count devil. I'm not sure if we should count devil eyes in that, so we'll just say 3, which means +2 for everybody around the alpha there. So
Okay.
you would have gotten a 6 on the first, which would have been good.
I'll take
So-
the Benny back then, since I
Okay.
would have. Okay. And then
Okay.
I'll stab him.
So
Yeah.
what is? I'm trying to go back to my rolls. I
Right. Let's see.
rolled a 3.
That wouldn't have been good enough for you.
Go. Give me some good damage.
Oh man.
Okay, I'll use my Benny on that.
Okay, that is enough to shake it. Toughness is 7. It's up to you if you want to reroll.
I will.
Yeah, you can pick whichever is better anyway.
Yay.
10 is good.
Not
Still,
enough
it's
to wound it.
it's not enough. It's not enough for a wound, but it will shaken.
Oh, close.
So, and he is out of bennies, so I got to start using GM bennies after this. Okay.
That works.
Eyes, you're up.
Meanwhile, Waylon is over there like, come on, guys.
Help, hey.
Tim!
Since
Anytime guys
Els-
want to come help me.
since Ellsworth is wrestling with the lower one, I'm going to shoot the upper one twice.
Okay. And you got pistols, so you don't have to worry about... Actually, it would be, what, parry... Their parry is 6, so you would be shooting and trying to hit a 6.
Okay. That
Yeah.
should be fine.
Oh, well, okay then.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Pretty good.
Dice have definitely been on my favor.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we
Oh.
go.
There it is. That's the one.
Praise.
All right.
Roll that damage. Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh,
my
boy.
gosh.
Oh boy.
Are you sure?
I think there's a bug in this system. Describe how you blow this thing
26.
away. Holy crap. I think it's dead. Describe it.
Headshot, like it's going at the back of my horse. So I kind of, squat down, get sight, just right in one eye and out the other one. Just catch it right across the face. Exactly.
They, the wolves, when they die, sound disturbingly like people. It's so strange.
So I'm gonna. How much would I even be able to take the second shot at the one that Eustace is wrestling?
So I think you can still do it because this is you're using your 2-gun fighting thing, right?
Yeah,
This isn't-
I got 2-gun, ambidextrous. Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's mechanically they're not sharing a space or anything like that. They're not
Okay,
grappling each
cool.
other, so it's fine.
Cool.
You look very cool with the shot one direction, shot in the
I would also say you would get a +1 because Ellsworth is there. In fact,
Oh. That would make that a 4.
you still need a 6 though, since you are in
Yeah.
melee with it.
Yeah, I only got one ability left. I want to save it.
Okay.
So
I will
yeah.
say after this fight, if you guys survive, we will do some interludes. I think so. You do have a
Yeah.
chance to get some back.
Did
Okay.
you do the cool spin turn and that way you
Yeah, you know
why
what?
missed it?
if we got an interlude with ludes coming up, I'll go ahead and Benny that.
Okay. Interludes with ludes.
It's a great song.
It's gonna be
It's
a
a
bunch
9
of
to hit.
9 is plenty. Yeah, that is not enough for a raise, but you can roll damage like normal.
Cool.
And
Alright.
it is in fact shaken. So
Cool.
Nice.
okay, I will go ahead and apply that. So you killed one. You made the other one shaken. That's a hell of a turn. It's the best turn yet.
I'll take it.
The one that is shaken is actually going to go next. It passes its roll, so it's no longer shaken. I think it's going to target Ellsworth, though, as Ellsworth the one that headbutted it.
Mhm.
So it's going to turn its attention to you. It will try to bite. It hits. Wow.
Alright.
But your toughness that's where it's going to be next to
It's one
impossible.
louder.
Next to impossible.
Oh.
Not impossible. Just
Yeah.
next to impossible.
Does the 6 hit you? What's your
What's your
normal
parry?
Let's see here.
Don't you have like 8 fighting, which would put
And
you
we
at
also have the
6?
-2 because of Dr.
Yeah, we do have the
Cuspid's.
-2 from Dr.
I do have
Cuspid's.
do have a 6.
So we
crit-
need an 8 to
6
hit
parry.
you.
It would, yeah. The Dr. Cuspid's bonus would make it so that it actually misses because that would be a 4. So don't worry about you're not shaken as it does not hit
Right.
you as it snaps up. Okay, so that one's done. Then we'll go over to the alpha, which we'll try to, which does in fact, shaken. Let's see. I have a couple different options. I think it's just going to continue to attack Anna.
No.
So I'm going to leap up and bite at a -2. All right. And that will miss.
Yes.
Okay. New round. Let's see. Pick a card for Jack. Jack, do you get 2? Why is this popping up?
If it's less than 5, then I get to select another one.
All right. 4 of hearts, it looks like, is going to be Because there's 2 of hearts and 4 of hearts. Those were your choices.
I guess we're taking the 4.
Guess we're taking the 4. Yep. And it will be the wolf will go next. So this is going to be the one that just went is going to go again. So it's going to attack Anna once more at a -2. Again, you still have the Bluetooth shield around you. Man, it's just not working out. Ellsworth, tide has turned. I think it's Ellsworth.
All right. So Ellsworth is just gonna rely on his fists because his head ain't doing it. So he's just gonna start punching this thing.
Yeah, go right ahead. And you get a +1 because Eyes is there as well.
Nice.
So gang up. Yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to do that on its own, but it didn't look like it was doing it before. So you guys might want to all hand it in. Oh, well, it doesn't
There you
really matter
go.
when you roll like that. Roll damage with raise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Describe how you kill this thing there, Ellsworth.
So Eustace comes across with the left. A few teeth go scattering across the ground. He's like, "Oh, gonna have to pick those up later." And then he hits the wolf on the other side, and a few teeth comes up. He catches him and then grabs the wolf's head and just buries his head into the brain box of that one. And as he puts that wolf down, throws its head to the ground, and then gives a good stomp.
Oh my goodness.
And as he looks up with like blood streaming down his face, he says, "Kind of worried about you, bud."
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, just the one left then. Anna, it is your turn. Yours and Devil Eyes. Kills with a vow of non-violence.
Let's see if we can do this. Where'd my character sheet go? All right. Let's try shooting again. Oh, and I should have a +2 on that, which
should be a
is
+2.
Still gonna miss.
Still gonna miss. Do you want a banny? I've gotten a lot of bannies out of this fight, so I feel like it's been effective.
I guess I'll spend the last community benny since we're gonna.
Okay.
I know I don't have any bennies, but I
just
secret
roll
bennies.
it. Just roll it from your character. With the +2 this
With the
time,
+2, that
6
will
will be enough. So go ahead and roll damage.
All right.
It's a toughness of 7.
9.
It is in fact shaken, as that will make it shaken, indeed.
All right. Now Devil Eyes is gonna kick at it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy, Devil Eyes has been very effective.
That's
16. That's with raise for sure. Damage with raise.
Okay.
Oh,
So
wow.
kick is strength plus D4, and then what is it for raise?
A D6.
D6.
Let me make sure that rolls properly.
Yeah, if you do a normal, that's a D12. Why is there a D12?
Devil Eyes' strength is a D12.
Oh,
Holy
Lord.
crap. Well, describe how Devil Eyes kills this thing.
So
That's gonna kill.
Anna's kind of gunshot, she's kind of on the horse, so it kind of goes kind of shoulder with this thing. And Devil Eyes just rears up and is just kind of like kick, kind of, just double straight to the face.
Okay. And this thing, as you trample it with Devil Eyes, so you shoot it, you kind of clip it on its head, it kind of gets all dazed, and that gives the perfect timing for him just to Devil Eyes just to trample down on it, and sadly, the Dreadwolf Alpha is now dead. And that is into combat, as you all have successfully killed them. All right.
That was impressive.
Oh boy.
It took some time, but having the right horse is very important.
You all right there, Waylon?
I'll remember to never upset you.
Yeah, I'm all right, but this fella here. Someone give me a name for a ranch hand.
Callaway.
For a Benny, give me what is it? What is it, Jeremy?
Callaway.
Calloway. Okay, take a Benny. Tell me something interesting about Calloway.
Calloway only has one ear.
Okay, so you go up to take a look at Calloway, and he's missing his he's got his normal ears missing, like it's kind of folded in like an inverse cauliflower. But you also notice that like his hand's missing now a couple fingers, and he's bleeding pretty profusely. Waylon, you can see, is kind of like trying to hold the body together, try to keep him from bleeding too much. Waylon looks okay. You know, they both look like they've been bit and scraped a couple times, but Calloway especially looks pretty terrible, like he's bleeding out. The horse off to the side isn't pictured here, is gone. Nothing you can do about that one. Waylon doesn't look like he's gonna die or anything like that, but Calloway could use a little help.
Calloway, I don't want to alarm you, but you seem to be in a state that I don't want to waste too much time. I'm going to operate quickly. I'm going to bring out, an assistant of sorts, and I just want you to remain calm as best you can.
Oh, Doc, you ain't gonna put no teeth in me like you did with us. I don't want no teeth in. Oh.
No, don't worry. Just close your eyes and relax. Everything's going to be fine. Is this, the set of like steampunk dentures come up and the braces unfold like little spider legs and start crawling up his body.
No.
Injecting him, cutting places, biting surgical staples into him.
I can feel them all over me. Go ahead and roll it.
Can I support you, by the way?
Maybe.
6 would be good. Okay. Support is just what, a +1, I think. So I think that would only give you a 7. So it wouldn't have given you a raise.
It's enough to stabilize him and heal a wound.
Enough to stabilize him. He's not going to die. While you're here, though, you rolled a healing test. You definitely tell they got bite wounds all over them. Like especially Calloway. Calloway's got some very serious bite wounds. Like literally, he's missing fingers. But you can also tell that both of them are kind of covered in bite wounds here and there. You can see that Waylon's leg is all kind of chewed up a bit, but he's tried to kind of wrap it up as best he can. But they both look like they've been like pretty thoroughly kind of chewed on by these creatures.
You know what I'm thinking I should do? And I just realized I can do this with my power. If you will allow me to spend extra power point after the fact.
Sure.
I could spend an additional power point to neutralize a poison or disease because I am concerned that may be an issue here. So as this terrifying set of dentures is biting into his flesh and injecting him repeatedly, there will be a glowing tincture that is injected into all of the wounds, hoping to sterilize whatever madness was going on in those wolves.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts. Oh, they're in me.
It's going to burn, and there's about a 50-50 chance you will have kidney stones in the near future, but at least you won't die or go mad.
Well, I don't want no kidney stones. It hurts when you push them out. Oh, man.
I know it does, but it's better than dying.
Oh, this burns real bad. They made me take the penicillin last time it burned this bad. Oh. Okay, so I'll say with your roll, you do notice actually that both of them, like their eyes kind of had like that sort of they look blood red, like they were bloodshot. You can start seeing like this, like the white of the sclera itself is kind of like giving way, and like everything's just sort of reddening up a bit. But as your devices do their work, the tinctures begin to inject. You do see that kind of reddish in Calloway's eyes begin to almost, not like, kind of slowly, but you can see it's receding pretty quickly.
Waylon, I understand that was probably not very fun to watch, but I don't have a mirror upon me, but I hope you will trust me. You saw the red in your friend's eyes. You have the same. I think I need to treat you sooner rather than later.
No, I was just drinking old Eustace's rock cup before I came out. I'm sure that's all it is.
Hey,
you know what? I do believe you. I really do.
How'd you get a hold of it?
Oh, you weren't looking.
Well,
5? Yeah, 5 is good. And so same thing kind of happens as he's like all kind of chatting with Eustace up, arguing with him. He's like, I got it when you were, oh, what the heck? No, come on, Doc. Oh, man. Oh,
it's for your own good.
And you see again, the eyes like kind of start to clear up a bit from the red.
Okay. I'm here to help. Just relax. Everything's fine.
But yeah, you definitely get the sense that there was something running through their veins, some kind of super rabies or something like that was kind of sifting through them a bit.
Meanwhile, back at the camp, the horse.
No. Oh my God, I would love if that horse just goes crazy.
It did. Well, we'll find out when we get back. Anything else you guys want to do out here? Let me switch it back over.
Yeah, collect wolf teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
walk up and hand the ones I caught to Cuspid.
I appreciate that. Mr. Ives, I do apologize. I'll give you the same warning as the others. There's a 50-50 chance of kidney stones, but I'd rather you not go crazy.
I appreciate that. Also, I think one of them, when that wolf done bit me in the ass, I think it left a tooth in there.
Well, I
might,
will procure it. I will also use a Benny on the ceiling check.
I was hoping for another crit fail. I want all of the crit fails to be on Ives. He's just this walking,
man.
filled with every disease. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
It's the sickliest man ever. Okay.
No, you were correct. It was actually in there sideways. I don't even know how the wolf managed to do that.
I was kind of hopping out the saddle when it still was latched on, so maybe I done twisted it up, and that's what pulled it out.
Find like other things in there too. There's like part of a spoon or something that you pull out that just was.
Why would it
mold.
be in there? I've said a
I
lot
don't know.
of
I'm not going to
things, a lot
judge.
of weird things he's into, but missing cutlery is not one of them. Always put the
Strangest
fork
thing.
in, tines down, though. I gotta tell you that.
Oh, we
Why
got
would
more
that possibly be there?
bennies.
Nice.
Thank
All right.
you, as we.
Oh, thank you, Asweefy.
It's a very lucky spoon,
thank you.
apparently.
All right. So
Anna wants to sweep the area and just make sure that there aren't any others hiding out.
Yeah, I'd like to
okay.
sweep the area, maybe get an idea of where they came from. Maybe there's a den near here.
Notice or survival, either or I'll take.
Mm-mm.
No three. No. How about you, Anna?
So I'm gonna spend one of those bennies that we just got
Okay.
and see if I can do a little better with that.
Okay.
Let's see. Nope.
All right, I'll
Okay.
spend one also and re-roll.
All right.
All right, one of the community ones.
Yeah,
Just
there we go.
All right.
I was gonna
You
say, like, it
noticed
just
the
wasn't
things.
meant to be. You do, in fact, actually find a den, not too far from where you were, kind of like hidden behind some of this dried shrubbery here. It's like this little hollow that kind of dips down into the earth a bit. It's also where you see like kind of parts of like old things that they've probably eaten on. It smells, particularly foul in here. You do notice that there are like a couple like old packs and things. Like you can see like they probably attacked other travelers along the way. You notice amongst that like you notice that like as you're going through that, there's one kind of old, kind of broken down leather pack that's got a handful of things in it. Looks like some old food that has long since been kind of destroyed. You see like a rusty Colt Army pistol. You see what looks like some kind of little tin box that when you open it up has $40 in it. So you can see $40 of cash inside. And then as you're going through, you do notice that there is another kind of the skeletal remains of something. As you're looking at these things, as you're looking at some of the remains in here that are various states of decay, you can recognize what looks like a human body here and there. But there is like a half-eaten corpse of something, and when you look at it, you have no earthly idea what possible creature this could have potentially been that they were gnawing on. Like it just doesn't look like a prairie dog. This doesn't look like, it doesn't look like a horse. Doesn't look like a human. It's got like this strain, like the skeletal like remains of it just absolutely bizarre to you. Like it's like that moment in The Thing when they like first discover like the bodies after they're burnt and everything's kind of twisted and strange, and something about the body just kind of rubs you the wrong way, Jack. It gives you definitely a bad feeling. Something not quite right about it.
Are we all there, or is it just those two?
I mean, if yeah, I mean, you can go. It's fine.
You want to follow me over? Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like somebody lost their dog.
Is there any chance that in studies of academia occult, there might have been some sort of recording of such a strange twisting to a body?
Yeah. Can we roll a cult?
Yeah, if you got a cult, go ahead and roll a cult.
Oh, it looks like Jack has this.
Oh.
Oh, slow on the uptake.
All right, so with a 9, okay, so I can tell you a couple things actually with a 9. So first, you know that it looks like some kind of creature you might have seen before. That's like has a tendency, like normally you wouldn't find them in these cases, but you know that you all are over by like these rocky canyons off to the west, and that sometimes there are these like creatures, these predators that like to kind of crawl up these canyons, you know, here and there. Some people just call them wall crawlers, like something that simple. And they have kind of this mix of what looks like half lizard, half spider, kind of this twisted, contorted body in some way. And they have a tendency to kind of shoot out some kind of acid. You're likely thinking that maybe they sort of gnawed on, they found this and sort of, ate it a bit. And so that's most likely what that kind of strange looking corpse is, more than likely. So if it's in the area, you would know that you probably want to be a little bit careful back at camp, since you guys were sort of laying your herd over in that canyon over there.
Sure. We should keep watch tonight. There's some bad things in these hills.
Of course. Whatever you say, Jack.
And then you got a raise, right? Okay, so the
yeah.
other thing, you notice that one of the human bodies looks a bit off as well. It looks, there's just something not quite right. You do notice the tongue, like that, is still intact, seems to be much longer than it's supposed to be. You can see that it looks like it's like the skin is discolored in a way that doesn't suggest just like desiccation, but like as if the skin itself like began in some kind of discolored way. Without seeing it in its sort of living state, it's hard to identify it specifically. It's got a humanoid quality to it, but it seems fairly abominable in some way. And I'll even carry this over, putting this stuff together and then seeing what these creatures are. You probably heard rumors at some point in your travels, Jack, since you've probably traveled further than anybody, about when certain wolves, packs, coyotes, things like that, whenever they gnaw on something that has a touch of the supernatural in it, sometimes that can do something to them. Like if they're eating flesh of like non-normal folk or non-normal creatures, it can infect them with some kind of bad blood, and that can kind of give them this strange predatorial sense where they start to inject this special kind of unnatural rabies. There's folks have different names for it: dread wolves, banshee wolves, blood wolves, something like that. Likely that's what happened with this pack here.
Okay, I'll take the $40 and I'll go over to Ives' torch that he tossed down, and I'll grab it and I'll walk back to the den and just toss it on the den.
Okay. Yeah, and it just starts burning away, and everything's really dry over here, so it kind of catches pretty fast. Not an issue.
Hang on, let me get a new torch lit up before you do that. I don't want to be caught out here in the dark.
Okay. All right. Anything else you guys want to do out here?
I mean,
All
there's
right.
a supernatural creature and there's teeth. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Fair enough. You took I'll assume you took the teeth that was left over in the shack before, or in the den before the burning. Okay.
And Anna eventually is going to have the same realization that I did, that we might want to get back and check on that horse
Mm-hmm.
that's back at camp.
Yep.
That was also bit.
Yep.
Might need
Okay.
you to do your magic there, Doc.
Of course, I have nothing against saving the horse.
Magic.
Okay. So you head on back, and eventually you get back there, and yeah, it's I mean, I'm sure Waylon and Calloway are able to ride on one of your horses. But you make it back. Somewhere along the way, Eustace, you find Aloysius, who's just sort of still wandering in the dark. Looks like didn't quite find its way back. So
Hey, Mud, get on back here.
Horse looks at you and like head goes down, like it's embarrassed of itself, and kind of starts trotting over towards you. And you make it the rest of the way. And when you get back, everyone's in a little bit of a tizzy when you get back. A couple folks see you and they're happy to see you. They see Waylon and stuff, but then like you hear talk that one of the horses went crazy. Like the horse that came back just went crazy and just started like kicking and bucking left and right. And apparently poor old Francesca got the worst of it because she and Abby are the ones that tend to the horses in the remuda. I rolled a 50-50 to see who it was going to hit. No one's dead or anything, but she just took a horrible hit to the noggin. And so you can see when you go over, she's got a big old bruise along her side where the horse kind of bumped into her. Could have been a hell of a lot worse. But you also see there's a handful of folks that are nearby, including Javier. They're kind of carving up the horse because apparently they put it down as it started kind of going rancid and rabid at this point. You guys have been gone for maybe 2 hours or so, as the thing was kind of losing its mind, sadly enough.
Anna's gonna look over to Doc and just say, so given that thing that you had to do on Waylon, can we eat that meat?
Good God, no. We need to that needs to be pulled away. Nobody eat any of that. Anybody who has been bit by that has had any exposure. We need to quarantine them. I don't know how many people have been bit.
I was rolling a notice test, and when you ask how many people have been bit by the horse, no one, as far as you know, the only person who got straight up attacked by it was Francesca. If you want to roll healing or notice on her, Cuspid, to see if she took a bite. But I was rolling notice test.
Oh no.
Okay. Yeah, you're looking around. Yeah, and like
Everything's
once you start shouting that out, Cuspid, like this is bad. I mean, Javier, it kind of, it kind of dawns. They didn't really, think rabies. They just thought it kind of lost its mind, like it saw something it shouldn't. And they're like, he's like, well, this is just a waste of meat now. And then yeah, you sure ain't nothing we can do about this, Doc?
If you had seen what we saw out there in the field, you would not want anything to do with that body. I assure you. I would love a whole and hearty meal in my belly right now as much as you, but not at the cost of what will happen.
Hey, what it's like when I get all incensed.
Well, I mean, I tend to get a little angry every now and then when folks don't return the plates and such to the wagon.
Right. Let's pretend my incensed is 2 pair. And what happened out there was a full house.
Okay. All right, I'll take your all word for it. It's fine. It's not like we don't have an endless supply of beef. And he kind of just looks over towards the herd. That ain't what we're short on. And everyone just kind of like licks his lip. You can tell he's got like dried lips here and there. Like everyone's just a little bit on the thirsty side. Okay. So they drag the remains of the horse off and they kind of burn. They burn it up and make sure it doesn't affect anyone at that point. And Cuspid, roll that healing test on Francesca. See if she
all right
got bit while she got kicked at the same time.
Anna will definitely be there to assist you.
Okay, cool.
Take the 1 + 1.
Success.
With a 6, you do notice right away that she does seem to have a bite on her hand, and you can see that the eyes are already starting to kind of go a little bit red in the corners.
Now, ma'am, I will warn you.
I don't want you near me, Doc. I seen what you did to people. You're crazy. You're a crazy man. No man in the right mind uses teeth the way you use teeth.
Anna's going to come around the side of Francesca and just say, Francesca, I share your concerns. I really do. But what we saw out there is real bad. And
no, I ain't.
You don't want to turn like that. Because if you turn like that, there's nothing that we can do to help you.
I seen what he does to people. I don't want him doing that to me.
He's going to help you, though. What he's going to do is going to help.
I
It's crazy.
understand that these methods are very
maybe so.
unconventional. I understand that. However, it is the only thing that will spare your life. And I assume you like living, and we all like having you here. I may not be your favorite. I will grant you that. However, I think you are just a wonderful woman, and I do not want any harm to come upon you. So please let me help you. I beg you. You can curse my name until the dawn, but just let me help you.
Roll
On my
persuasion.
word, this is going to help. It's going to hurt like hell, but it's going to help.
One of you can roll persuasion. The other can take a +1. You know, can for support. Whoever wants to roll the persuasion.
I've got a D4.
Me too.
Okay.
Roll.
And then take a 1. Okay. You see, she just kind of exhales frustration. And then she looks at you, Anna, and she says, if anything's happening to me, I'm going to come back as a ghost, and I'm going to haunt you. And you too, Doc. I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back. You ain't going to ever get a night of sleep again. You hear me? You hear me?
I do hear you, and I would feel your specter like none other. So that's why I'm going to work very hard to keep you alive.
Okay. If any teeth get embedded in me, I heard what you did to eyes. If any teeth get embedded in me, I'm going to embed something right in your chest. That's what I'm going to do.
As the dentures start like crawling around behind her so she doesn't see them coming.
Anna, and this is the most aggressive you've ever heard Francesca, by the way. So you can probably tell the rabies are already kicking in. Like you're already, there's an aggressiveness already kicking in here.
Yeah.
She's like the little, so sweet.
The spider leg braces kind of like crawl up her back.
Oh, no.
Her.
And the little like tincture thing kind of goes in and again, and it seems to work just fine. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm glad I took that extra PowerPoint edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So throughout the night, you kind of keep a watch, like Jack says, and if you tell some of the other ranch hands about what you found, that other creature, they start to move some of the herd kind of away a little bit, and you do get reports that a couple times throughout the night they see some sort of strange lizard creature kind of crawling on the walls of some of the rock here and there. So it's probably good that you pointed this out. Otherwise, a few of them might have gotten taken out in the night, but no such problems. Morning comes. All of you go ahead and roll a vigor test. Anybody who fails, take a point of fatigue. If you pass, you're good to go. There are a lot of dice on my screen right now.
I'm going to spend one of the bennies.
Okay.
Try that again. All right.
Nice.
Okay. All right, so...
Oh my gosh, Jack is vigorous as all hell.
Right. He's on point. He knows what's out there.
So the next couple of days continue to be sort of a dry spell, and it kind of continues. And it's not a kind of a fun time at all. Half rations go down to quarter rations. What once was full canteens in the morning, and now there's only like a very, very little bit. People are starting to kind of pass out, get some heat stroke here and there. More than a number of folks are kind of in the chuck wagon now at times in which they shouldn't be. It's kind of a rough couple of days. You got something, Jeremy?
What I would like to do, if there is anybody who has reached that state that they are suffering heat stroke, I don't want anybody having the kicking chicken. We don't need that. I can use my relief ability, the same thing I used on the horses before, to remove fatigue. And I'm glad to like maybe put a cap on my overall PowerPoints depending upon how many people. Because we don't want anybody dying of this.
Yeah, we'll montage it to the point where like it's no problem. I think if you keep it only towards the point where like someone's literally life-threatening situation, we can kind of just montage it. And so yeah, like every day you're having to deal every morning basically over the span of the next couple of days. You have like 2 or 3 people that you gotta get them up, or else they're not gonna kind of get out there. And plus the herd's starting to scatter a little bit more as people are a little bit more fatigued. The horses are a little bit more fatigued. It's kind of a rough stretch of things. And every time like Bill and Luke come back, which is usually like about every other day or so, they check back in and they still just can't find nothing new, can't find anything new. And people are starting to get a little concerned. What we're gonna do, I think, is I want to do a little interlude stuff. I want to try this because I've been wanting to do this for a while. Have you all done this before? You know what I'm talking about when I say interludes?
Yes.
Okay. So for those of you shaking your heads, it looks like Chuck's shaking his head. So basically, this is like a little downtime where like each one of you tells like a brief little in-character story scene to kind of enhance the travel over the next couple of days as the sun's beating down and all that kind of stuff. And the story you tell is sort of dependent upon like what you draw as like I deal out cards to everybody, and what you get kind of determines like what kind of story you have to tell us. And normally whoever, like if you participate, you get a Benny. I'm going to add on top of it, like if you participate and you identify somebody in the camp, like if you kind of flesh out an NPC, I'll actually give you a point of conviction, which is like a super Benny. And so if like anything you do to sort of continue to flesh out the NPCs and stuff, because there's quite a few ranch hands, most of them are nameless right now. So there's that on top of it. So it's kind of like this little downtime moment, as this is a very long, dry, painful stretch where all of you are, you're doing okay, you're hanging in, but it's taken its toll on everybody as a whole. So does anybody not want to participate? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Good to go.
You're all good people. All right, so let's give this a go. So I'm gonna deal y'all a card in a second. Let's deal to. All right, so hopefully this will deal to everybody. I don't know. Did everybody get dealt? No, it didn't work. Why hasn't this worked? Did you all get a card?
I don't see a card.
I don't think so.
No.
All right, I'm just gonna put y'all in combat. We'll do it that way. All right.
Oh, we're getting in a fight. All right, let's do this.
That PvP is finally starting. I'm just gonna keep it at the club that you get. All right. So, all right, couple things are gonna happen. We got 2 jokers, which is great. So how this works is, there's essentially 3 different kinds of stories. One is a downtime story, one is a backstory, one is a trek. So like downtime is what the hero does when they're left alone. And so the example is like a priest might quietly read a holy text or something, or a warrior might, sharpen their blades. Backstory is you tell something from your past, like told through like, about you. And the trek is a story of an obstacle or challenge that the party, meaning the caravan, encounters along the way. And since we got 2 jokers, everyone can take 2 bennies. And everyone takes 2 bennies right off the bat. And Jeremy and Melissa, you can take, you can basically choose what you want. So let's start with Chuck, just because Chuck is the first person who actually has a non-joker, so you can kind of see what this is about. So Chuck, you got a club.
Everybody else got clubs.
Of course, the rules in that's
Yeah,
interesting.
I know it's like hearts.
Hearts
I pulled
twice.
up the actual
guess
the
the
book.
bottom one is clubs.
I think so.
Yeah, it's the bottom one on page 130 in the actual book. Clubs is the bottom one.
Thank you very much.
Spades
Matt.
is highest.
Yeah, clubs is usually like at the bottom. Okay, so Chuck, you got a club. So you can choose basically one of the 3. So you could choose between downtime, your hero broods or is angry about something. What is it, and how do you misbehave? Or backstory, which is a tale of misfortune from your hero's past, perhaps revealing something of your hindrances or a dark secret. Or a trek, which is a hardship the party overcame on their trip, like the tragic death of a favorite extra, spoiled or lost supplies, a mechanical breakdown, abysmal weather, something like that. So, but you can see those. So you choose between one of those 3.
I'm gonna go for the easy one and talk about backstory.
Okay.
That's fun.
Okay.
So yeah, this will be something that probably telling Timmy over the campfire one night, talking about when I was in the war and I got hurt.
Okay.
So this is what started me down this track, Timmy. It wasn't anything by my own choice. It was handed to me in a way that I didn't want. I served with a friend. He was a bit of a weird one. We don't need to say his name because speaking that name might bring bad luck upon us all. But
what was his name?
what did I just say, boy?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Well, I done got shot, kind of like that Bartholomew feller done shot me in the gut.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then you fed him to somebody else, I heard.
I did indeed feed him to someone else. That way there's a new Mr. Bartholomew. But that's neither here nor there at this point. I got myself shot. I was dying.
What? Not you, Mr. Ives.
It was me indeed. Fell behind. Till my, well, I call him a buddy, but that is a generous term here. He found me.
Call who a buddy?
The friend we're not going to name.
Oh, okay.
I was infected, something fierce. The flies were on me, laying their eggs. And he saved my life. When flies land on rotted flesh, they'll lay eggs. Maggots will grow and eat the flesh.
Timmy looks very skeptical of this, but he doesn't interrupt you.
Well, he told me about how in some of the people who lived in this land before we came and took it, there were stories of those that would eat the flesh of another one of their own kind. Through that, they would gain great strength and power and give them healing capability. Don't just quit licking your lips, boy. This isn't a good story. I'm not telling you.
You just said if I eat someone, I could get powers.
Well, it healed me all right. I did. I'm walking fine now, but the curse it left me is unbearable. I can't sleep at night. I see the monsters creeping in at the edge of my vision. If you keep up on the path you're on, Timmy, you're going to end up worse than I am. They call it a Wendigo.
What kind monsters called Wendigos?
That's it.
Okay. So if I can just figure out some way to get the benefits of eating someone without the Wendigo nightmares and things, then...
Are you a fan of flowers?
Flowers?
Yeah.
Like plants and things? I mean, some of them are nice, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I can't figure out how to get you on the right path here, I'm going to take you out one day and show you some flowers. They're the prettiest thing you've ever seen. Now,
okay.
They'll set you right.
Just me and you?
Just me and you.
Well, that sounds swell. That sounds, my papa never took me anywhere, Just me and him never did. Didn't much know him too well, but yeah, I'll go with you. Yeah.
Right.
Sounds great.
You keep up with your studies with Dr. Cuspid. Maybe he can sort you out.
Yeah, I might ask him about that fly thing. I don't think flies lay eggs. They ain't chickens.
No, flies, insects lay eggs along with lizards and fish.
Fish don't lay eggs. What are you talking about? They're in water.
Lay eggs. Boy, they lay eggs in the water.
I think you just haven't slept enough because you talking crazy now.
I have not slept enough, but that is true. Ask Dr. Cuspid. He will tell you true on this. That
I'll ask him.
Insects and lizards and frogs and fish and snakes, most snakes.
Well, I know snakes lay eggs. That I know.
Yeah. Alligators, they lay eggs.
What's an alligator?
Alligator is a giant lizard with armor all over it. Big
wears
teeth
armor?
and a long mouth. It does. Something fierce.
Wow,
it's
like
made into
armor?
its skin. Like its skin is armor. It's got these big pointed scales that are like plates. And it'll grab you by the legs and take you down under the water and just do what they call a death roll until it flings off all your arms and legs.
Okay. Sounds like one of them stories folks tell children so they don't go down by the water.
Well, that's not water in this area. If you go down in like the bayou and the swamps.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ask Dr. Cuspid about this whole fish laying eggs thing, because I don't think you're right, but that's okay. You get some sleep, Mr. Ives. Thanks for
till
telling me
it's
how to get
daylight.
superpowers. And he runs away.
Christ, I'm gonna have to shoot that kid in the face.
All right. Next up, we got. Go ahead, take a penny, and you can have a conviction. That was great. I like it.
Yep.
Jack, same deal for you. You're also clubs. What do you want
I
to do?
have 2 convictions now.
I'll do backstory.
All right.
I'll say after the little encounter run in at the wolf den, Jack's been really distracted. He hasn't been himself. He's kind of been distant from the others. He hasn't been as happy-go-lucky as he normally is. And he's just kind of been keeping himself around camp. And one night around the campfire, he kind of opens up a little bit to all of you. And he says, "Oh, I've encountered those things before, and they've taken a toll on me, eh? I see them when I close my eyes at night, when I sleep. When I was just a young boy growing up in Canada, I had a pet. I found this albino moose abandoned by its mother when I was a young lad, and I raised it as my own. For Frobisher, he was a good boy." And that's for Jeff. And he even let me ride him sometimes, eh? And we were close. We never had a relationship like that with such an animal. But one day when old Frobisher was grazing, I heard terrible noises coming from the meadow, and he was being attacked by creatures similar to those lizard spider-men, and they tore the poor guy apart. And like I said, I see them when I close my eyes at night, and they give me night terrors. So he has a hindrance night terrors. That's why he's revealing a hindrance to you, to the group.
You pain on that one. Sleep brings me no peace as well.
I know your pain, Ives.
Wayland
So what'd you do to
Fontaine.
the animals? The creature's attacking your moose.
He was more than a moose to me, Frobisher. More than a moose.
Would you put him down? Not the moose. I mean, I'm tragic about your moose.
No,
I'm just curious if
unfortunately,
you
those
took vengeance.
No, those creatures. Well, yes, and I've been chasing creatures ever like that. How do you? I've seen many strange things in my time. Many strange things. That's why when I saw those bones, I knew exactly what we were dealing with.
You know how to put them down?
Why do you think I carry so many guns?
If guns is the answer, I'm glad to be on this hunt with you then, because I got guns.
You just kind of look deeply into the fire and kind of get lost in thought from there.
Yeah, the last thing we hear is just like as we're like as the camera kind of drifts away from Jack in this really serious moment, like Wayland just kind of leans over towards like Grimy or Dr. Cuspid, like, "What the hell is a moose?" So, all right, Eustace, you're also a club. Everyone got clubs. What would you like to do? Matt, go ahead and take your rewards.
Club is choosing between downtime, backstory, and trek.
Well, they're all that. It's just like a specific thing. So like, so for clubs, downtime is you're angry about something and how are you misbehaving out of anger. Backstory is a tale of misfortune, kind of like Chuck and Matt just did. That usually speaks to a hindrance or something else in your past. And then the trek option is how the party or the caravan overcame some kind of hardship on the trip. Because like those three categories are for every one of the suits. It's just like they're tweaked depending on which suit you get.
Well, you ever hear that saying? You never did quite learn to leave well enough alone. And I mean, we're out here looking for wells now, and you know, them wells, they're out there, and we could be going pretty far to go for these wells. Wells Fargo. But anyhow, I was that type, couldn't leave well enough alone. And one time, this is back when I was a family man, and there's this fella. He was from some podunk place, and I was talking to him, and he didn't want to talk, but I just had to figure out why he was in San Antonio when he was from some podunk place. What could have brought him all the way to this town? I mean, I didn't know the place was called Podunk. I just assumed that because I said, "Hey, what are you doing here, fella?" And he was like, "Well, I'm selling snake oil, and I'm a doctor that takes a look at people's feet." And so he's a podiatrist, and I said, "Oh, so you're from Podunk?" And he got all offended, and so I was trying to figure out why I made him offended. And so he was getting, saying I'm a doctor. I'm not some person who cuts down trees, because I related that I've done a bit of tree chopping myself. And I was wondering why he was out in San Antonio, of all places, where there's nothing but scrub bushes. And, why he needed a bit of podiatry. But, he kept getting mad. And we had some other doctor with us. And I said, "Oh, well, he's a doctor. But he's not a tree doctor." And I said, what sort of tree doctor are you?" And he got so mad. Well, it wasn't until the next day when I found out that I should have left well enough alone. Because he hired some goons to come after us. And that's when I had to take the vow of nonviolence because of what I did. That's a story for another time. But yeah, sometimes I just can't leave well enough alone. And even though I know it's what killed a cat, I hate a cat, so I haven't been killed yet. So one could say I'm curious as I reveal the hindrance.
Okay, Adam, I think you owe me a conviction and a series of bennies for those puns. No, you take the rewards.
It's a callback to an alternate universe where.
Okay. Let's see. Anna, what do you want to do? What are you thinking? You can choose anything you want. You can use any category, anything as a joker. You can pick whatever you want.
Yeah.
So I saved you and him for last. You and Jeremy for last, so you have a choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually end up kind of in the same place that other folks have, actually. So Anna's gonna, kind of hear, kind of what's been shared around the fire. And she'll say, I don't always understand what some of y'all do. And she'll kind of look over in, Dr. Cuspid's directions. And I don't always agree with some of the things that y'all do. And she's kind of looking at Ives. And, kind of a nod at Eustace, like this may not be the first time they've had this discussion. But
oh, trust me, I asked.
You'll always have my gun, though. I learned long ago. I had this friend, Tito, who just didn't always make the right choices. And we used to hang out, when we were little, and we'd, run down to the river, and we'd, just get ourselves into, a little trouble and whatnot. But once he got a little older, he started hanging out with some of the rough folks in town, and I thought I was better than him and said, you know what, if you're going to be hanging out with those folks, then I just don't think that we're going to be spending a whole lot of time together. And one weekend, he said that he was going to go over for a ride in a nearby town and asked if I wanted to go along with him because he didn't think he wanted to go alone. And I said, I don't really think I want to get mixed up with what you're doing. And he took that ride and got mixed up with some folks and never came back. And that weighed hard on me that I wasn't loyal to a friend. And so ever since then, I may not always agree. I may judge if I'm being fair. But once we've decided that we are going on an undertaking together, I will have your back. So that's our story of the loyal hindrance.
Oh, okay, yeah. Tito, huh? Okay. All right.
She's had my back ever since the incident with the vow.
Like it. All right, Dr. Cuspid. Last but not least.
There's one that was like a private moment sort of thing.
Yes. Like there's a couple different things. There's Spades. The character spends time alone in quiet contemplation. What do you do? Mm-hmm. So you can do something like that.
I have an idea for that. And do we have anybody in the camp who's been designated as like a nosy sort of person or anything of that nature?
What's their name? Let's make up somebody now. We have plenty of ranch hands to work with, so like we can make up somebody.
Stinky
like
Pete.
Rosa. Stinky Pete. Okay, it's Stinky
Pete. Oh God, he just won't
Stinky Pete is nosy.
Okay.
I think after listening to these stories of loss and night terrors and things like that, Dr. Cuspid has his own issues. And he has a great deal of trouble sleeping that night. In fact, he does not sleep. This is not the first time that he has chosen not to sleep. He deals with it in a different fashion. He basically uses his own electroshock therapy to relieve the exhaustion that comes from not sleeping, which fortunately prevents any physical malady. It does not assuage you of the problems that come with not sleeping, of course. But as he fails to go to sleep for another night, Stinky Pete will maybe hear some commotion in Dr. Cuspid's tent, and he'll see Dr. Cuspid kneeling on the ground with his mirror set before him, and he's got all of his different mechanical contraptions set up before him, and he also has like a necklace with a pair of matching rings, and he's holding the tooth that he uses at the end of the whip, his favorite tooth, and he seems to be pointing it at the mirror as if he is threatening another person. You do not belong here. You are gone. I cast you out. The wood has no need of a wretched, cowardly cur like you.
Doctor?
I will have nothing of you. You didn't even have the decency to kill yourself, no matter how many times you promised. I cast you out, you worthless cur. Look at this. You need to be able to take this, you worthless piece of shit. I am not you. I am not you. You are gone. I am Dr. Byron Cuspid. I don't need you anymore. Go
Doc,
away.
Who are you talking to, Doc?
Hello. Pete. It's Pete, isn't it?
Yeah. You okay there, Doc? You you talking to yourself, thing?
No. I'm sorry. I was just it was a play. I saw once in Savannah, and I was just reciting some of the lines from one of my favorite passages. It's fine, Pete. No, there's nothing to worry about at all.
Okay, Doc. I'm sorry to interrupt there.
You're just fine. In fact, how are you feeling today, Pete? You look a little tired.
Oh yeah, I'm thirsty and all that kind of such. But
I tell you what, Actually, I found just the faintest little puddle of water myself last night. I don't need any more. Why don't you take my ration of water this morning, please?
You serious, Doc?
Of course. I don't need it.
Well, all right. Well, thank you, Doc. That's very kind of you. Very kind.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I hope you have a blessed day.
Well, yeah, you too, Doc. You too. He starts to walk out, like underneath, like lifts the flap. Then he kind of turns back one more time, like, "You sure you okay, Doc?"
Oh, of course. I am just fine. Of course.
Must have been pretty good play, I guess.
Oh, it was the very best. Of course, people sometimes get a little deep into their melodrama in the South. It's just the nature of us. I'm too incensed with that, I suppose. I will get my face back on shortly.
You could kind of perform it for us one night. It gets pretty boring out here on the trail. I'm sure other folks might want to see you play. That'd be great. If I have to hear Anna play more of that damn harmonica another night, I swear.
No, you should be more kind to this Anna. She is just the most lovely creature. You shouldn't speak that way of her.
No, you're right, sir. That was wrong with me. I apologize.
That's okay. It is terrible, but you shouldn't speak that way of her.
Oh. That's a good one, Doc. That's a good one. You all right, Doc? I know they say you're crazy, but I don't think you're crazy. No.
Well, that's very kind of you, Pete. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, you have a good day. You need anything, you just let me know. Okay.
He's like there's the obvious scar across the face. Actually, like it's obvious that it's not just the one-time thing. There's like a series that this is like something he does frequently.
Yeah, and he's like he's when he's talking to you, he's not looking at your eyes. Half the time he's looking down at the scars as you're talking. And you get the sense that he's just like playing along with the, sure, yeah, that's right. And then you offered the water, so he's okay. I ain't gonna look gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah. And so I know I've mentioned in a previous session, but Dr. Cuspid has Death Wish.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Loved it. Okay, that was great, and it also puts us right at time. So we'll say to end it. Probably the day goes past, night, everyone kind of goes to sleep that night after storytelling and whatnot. Morning comes, and lo and behold, who's in camp but old Luke and Bill. And they say, not half a day's ride off to the northwest, they found themselves an abandoned homestead. The well ain't dry. Eureka, we found ourselves some water. It's gonna take some time getting it on out. We can refresh everything. Lord be safe. So we end with like the kind of the whole crew and stuff sort of encroaching upon this whole abandoned homestead on top of a hill, and that's where we'll go ahead and stop. And Jeremy, take your rewards. Obviously, it's beautiful. And we'll end there. All right, that was awesome. You guys are awesome. That was great. So I've written down some cool little things to bring back. Rabid albino moose, for sure. Podiatrists. Timmy thinks he can knows how to be a superhero now. Like this is like this. I have so much ammunition to work with. This is great.
Like the backhanded comment that Anna's harmonica playing is no better than her singing. Wait a minute. This is
you know how it is. Okay.
See, in my mind, that's what it sounds like, not to everyone else.
Yeah. Sorry. I never got to use that. I was going to use that. I forgot to have that ready to go when we were doing the initial bar fight. I was going to have that playing in the background. Bar fight was going on. Anyway, let's do a closing round table. See where everyone's at this week. Let's see. Jeremy, tell us about this Patreon.
Yeah, Aaron Reese on Patreon. You got comics. You got plenty of artwork. You got some RPG assets, some maps. Check it out. It's pretty cool.
Perfect. Yeah. And see, next up, Matt, what are you doing this week?
Starfinder over on Garblight Games on Thursday night at 9 p.m. Central. And Jeff and Jeremy will be there as we continue to fight squads of Firefoxes as we explore the map.
Did I tell you what I was? Did I tell you what I was gonna do
Please, no.
with my bear? If like I started going on with what Tyler was doing because I thought it was it was a fun idea, but like had Tyler not come up with that, I was gonna ask if I could climb up the pillar and belly flop on top of them because I'm such a big bear and see if that would have worked as AoE damage.
That would have worked.
That's awesome.
That would have worked.
I thought it would be funny because especially if he was a wrestler, I would have been like, ah. Anyway, I thought that would be funny. Anyhow, maybe next time. Let's see. Adam, what do you want to plug?
I'd like to plug our Patreon. If you like some Weird West style gaming and you're also into card games as well, we are working on an unannounced project, but we've at least announced that. And the art behind me is some concept art from Felix Miles, same person who did some art for Heart, the City Beneath. So if you're interested in that at all, we've released a little bit of concept art that shows it further for some patrons. And then, they'll get all the news first and they'll even get some, playtest materials, whatnot, as things come out. So go ahead and check that out and hope you join us.
Fantastic. Chuck, Defenders.
Man. Wednesday, we're going to be doing some Forbidden Lands in the D&D basic Thunder Rift setting. Friday, we're going to be hopefully wrapping up our current Shadowrun stretch as we move into trying out the game that Joe's making. And then Saturday, Darkest House. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the last one or not. I mean, after the cliffhanger with which our last episode was out,
possibly 2 players are dead.
It could just be me and Chuck hanging out with Steven.
Just you and I.
It's gonna be great. I mean, and different parts, different times, and different sections of the house. So it could possibly, what could possibly go wrong? It's gonna be great. Let's see, Melissa, what are we playing on Friday and Saturday?
On Friday night, we have just started up our Traveler campaign, and on Saturdays, we're doing the One Ring 2nd Edition.
Yeah, first 2 sessions of Traveler over on the YouTube. We got the character gen episode 0. Then we got first episode, which is fun little first episode. And then next Monday, in this time slot, we are going to be starting up a new game, another Savage Worlds game, as we're going to be playing Holler on the opposite week. So it's going to be Savage World Monday. It's just going to be one week it'll be Deadlands, the next week it'll be Holler, and back and forth we'll go. If you don't know what Holler is, new game. It's like Appalachian horror, a little bit of Fae, cryptid stuff going on. 1930s. It's a lot of fun. We've run it a couple times on the channel already in one-shots. Jeremy and Melissa were in those games, and now we're going to do a full-on campaign, plot point campaign with the Ultraviolet Grasslands group. So come check that out. If you like Savage Worlds, we got it on Monday on the channel for the foreseeable future. So it should be a lot of fun. That is it for us. We are all done. Thank you everyone who hung out. Thank you for those of you who threw out some bits and some subs. It was good to see some names haven't seen in a while. Party Wife, Veronique, it's great to see you. We're gonna go ahead, I think, and raid someone I think Diesel Shop might still be up, and we'll catch you later in the week. I think our next one is Wednesday with Chuck. So we'll see you. So goodbye, everybody.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.